In a reality of military occupation, what I found myself doing is crossing every day that goes by, crossing moral lines that I never thought that I would cross before. And slowly, slowly sinking into this reality where every Palestinian in front of me was not any more a human being like me, was an enemy, a potential terrorist, or wasn't there at all.
I was based in Jerusalem for 7 years, and what you've done by setting up this organisation and going public goes very much against the grain of Israeli society. Just how tough is it?
I really don't see it as a tough thing. I think as someone who was there, someone who served in the occupied territories and did what I've done, after understanding what I've done, I don't think I had a choice. I had to stand up. I had to break the silence. Yeah, because this is the most crucial thing that our society is facing.
But there are many people in Israel who would accuse you and have accused you of being a traitor.
Yeah,
So you're telling me that's not tough?
No, I think they're entitled for their opinion, and I think it's okay. And I understand that what we're dealing with, which is, yeah, talking about the military and what it's doing there, is something that touches very, very deep into the heart of Israeli society. So it makes sense that people get very angry and very aggravated by what we do. But this is a fight over the soul of our country. This is a fight over what will be the moral values that will define who we are as a people and what we stand for. And in breaking the silence, we are over 950 combat soldiers who say, occupation, no. Yeah, that is wrong. This is not the path to go.
Is it possible for an Israeli soldier to serve in the territories with a clear conscience?
I don't believe that a soldier who served in the occupied territories has clean hands. It's not that I think that we are all, it's not that every soldier murders innocent Palestinians. Far away from that. But no Israeli soldier who served in the occupied territories, his hands are clean after that. Because at the heart of what you do, there is no way of seeing Palestinians as equal human beings to you. I'll just give you one example, which is, nothing extreme, nothing exceptional, something very routine and banal. I served for 14 months in Hebron. Right now in Hebron, as we are sitting here and having this discussion, there are 2 military patrols that their job is to do what we call in the military to make our presence felt. What does it mean? The military logic says this. If Palestinians will get the feeling that the IDF is all the time everywhere, they'll be afraid to attack. So what do you do to give them this feeling? You make your presence felt. You start your night shift patrol. 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the morning, 8-hour shift. You walk in the streets of the old city of Hebron. Break into a house, Palestinian house, of course. Not a house we have intelligence about. I'm the sergeant. I lead the patrol. I choose a random house. Wake up the family, men one side, women the other side. Search the place. You can yourself imagine the dynamics, yeah? Climb to the roof, jump from one roof to another, come out through another house, wake up the family. And basically that's how you pass your 8-hour shift. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From September 2000 when the second Intifada started, till today, now. It didn't stop for 1 second. Yeah, the idea is that every Palestinian will feel the military is right here. You don't know when we're going to show up, what we're going to do, when it's going to end, how it's going to look like. It's to do what we call in the military, ליצור תחושת נרדפות, to create the feeling of being persecuted. Now, when this is your mission, again, this is not an action of a rogue soldier or officer. This is your mission. There is no way of doing it nice.
And what impact does it have on those Israeli soldiers who have to carry out that task?
I think we are living in a reality where for over 2/3 of our existence as a country, 46 years, this is our national project. All our resources are put into controlling, ruling another people. And that's our project of the nation. In a way, this is how Israeli men are growing up in the country.
And not only men, but women too, because you take testimonies from women combat soldiers as well.
Recently, exactly, combat units, more and more combat units are open to women. And of course, that's a whole other aspect, which I cannot speak from my personal experience, but from the experience of my comrades, my female comrades. But definitely, yes. This is how you grow up in a reality where you are a combat soldier, where violence is not the answer for everything. It's the instinct that you answer with to everything, and ruling others, and being used to see the other not as equal to you.
Does your voice represent the minority of soldiers or the majority?
My political analysis probably, and my political standing represents the minority of soldiers probably, yes. But the facts that we are talking about, no one can dispute. So if soldiers would be in a disagreement with us, it will be about the political conclusions we draw. But the facts of how we behave and what we're doing, that's not up to dispute.
Yehuda, is your message being heard though? I mean, is there any sort of glimmer of acknowledgement from people within the high-ranking levels of the Israeli Defense Forces or the Israeli political elite?
So this is a very important thing that you're asking, and that is, I think it's important for me to state that we are not aiming at the military. I don't believe the IDF is the problem. The political mission the IDF gets is the problem. When we send our military to maintain a prolonged occupation, that's how it looks like. Because
so you're needing to change Israeli public opinion.
Israeli politics, Israeli policy.
And the thing that drives that is public opinion.
Yeah.
But do you think your voice has been heard by all sectors of Israeli society? It certainly doesn't appear to be the case.
No, sadly no. Sadly no. I think it's a uphill battle. It's not an easy thing. But this is where it's important to mention. Silence is not an Israeli disease. Silence is a human epidemic. When a society doesn't look good, the last thing it wants is to deal with these bad things. And in a way, our job as breaking the silence is to hold up a mirror in front of our society and force it to deal with it. There is a lot of optimism behind our work, because we do believe there is a big chunk, a minority, but a strong minority in Jewish Israeli public.
A growing minority?
I don't know if a growing, but a strong minority in Jewish Israeli public that once confronted with the facts will choose our side because they share our values. And our crusade is for them to know and force them so they cannot escape. They cannot say, oh, these abuses are exceptional. No. Hundreds of soldiers are standing from all units, different ranks. This is what we've done.
Because the problem is, of course, Israelis cannot go into the Palestinian territories. They're banned unless you're a soldier or a foreign journalist or a diplomat. And I mean, part of the problem has been, as a result, whenever international media covers the story, it's seen very much by local Israelis as this is the way the world views us, but we know it to be different. So, I mean, do you think what you're telling them, that there actually is going to change that default position?
Sadly enough, the Israeli media is not doing its job. If the Israeli media would have told the story, there was no need for breaking the silence. And this is where we come in, to fill in the gap. Yeah, breaking the silence operates in a very simple logic. I'm now a civilian back in my society saying this, guys, you sent us there to do the job. We went there, we've done it, we're back home. We're not going to tell you who to vote for, but there is one thing we demand. Sit down and listen to what we did in your name, because we were sent there in the name of our society. And that's, I think, as people who were there and done it, and did what we've done, it is our moral obligation to stand up and break the silence.
Are you doing this for yourself or for Israel?
I'm doing it for myself and for Israel. I'm an Israeli. This is where I live. This is where I'm going to live. I'm not going to leave. That's my homeland. And this is a struggle over cleaning my home.
Finally, Yehuda, do you think there'll ever come a time when Israeli forces will permanently leave the West Bank?
I have no doubt, and I really hope that I'll see the end of the occupation in my lifetime, because I think this is the only way Israelis and Palestinians will be able to live side by side in peace if the occupation ends completely.
Yehuda Shaul, thank you so much for being with us. That's it for this edition of the Franz Van Kat interview. Do stay tuned for the more news and headlines coming up very shortly.
Pour moi, France 24